Let's try and fix the problems one at a time. The first problem is how to interpret the values between the lines y equals 0 and y equals 1. A very intuitive way to look at the problem is to divide the x-line, or values for weight, into bins of relatively small size, and then count the number of samples falling between the starting and ending values of each bin, and then separating these values based on the gender, and then calculating the probabilities of being a male or a female for each bin. For example, if you're interested in probability of being a male and choose bins of width 20 pounds or 0.2 on our scale, there will be no males weighing below 100 pounds, resulting in a 0% chance of being a male. What is more, of the number of people weighing between 140 and 160, half were males and half were females, and everyone about 200 was a male, giving a probability of 1 or 100% to being a male. Plotting the curve going through the probabilities is an amazing way to interpret any y values between 0 and 1, because they could be regarded as the probability of belonging an x value to any of the categories, or in this case, the probability of being a male or a female given someone's weight. Of course, if we had more samples, we could have designed smaller bins and in one extreme, and so small that the probabilities would represent point estimates rather than bin estimates, and we would have a more smooth curve passing through the points. But even with this limited number of samples, we can figure out the general shape of the curve we are trying to find. First, it has to be bound by the lines y equals 1 and y equals 0, because those are the limits for the probability value. Whereas more, the curve should be S-shaped, approaching 0 for small x's and 1 for very large x's. Of course, if what we were interested in was the probability of being a female, the curve would have to look like a reverse S, with values approaching 1 for very small x's and 0 for very large ones.